So I really appreciate you being here tonight and excited by the experience of those you'll soon meet. To begin, let me introduce Shanae Sharon. Shanae has dedicated nearly 20 years to working in arts education and administration. She is the newly appointed executive director of Street Poets, Inc., a community-based nonprofit organization that first began with a poetry workshop in a Los Angeles County probation facility 29 years ago. And it continues to harness the healing power of poetry and music to transform the lives of our society's most marginalized youth and young adults. Shanae?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hi. I like this format. Okay, thank you so much, Mike, for that wonderful introduction. It's so nice and wonderful to be here in the presence of so many people who have dedicated their lives to this deep reverence that we share for the sacredness of each and every life. And it's my privilege tonight to introduce a poet whose work reflects the heartfelt belief that no one is beyond healing and redemption. So we have Jason Quezada. He first joined Street Poets as an incarcerated teen, and now, 20 years later, he is a construction contractor, a meditation teacher, and a proud father of 2 teenagers of his own. So he'd like to dedicate his poems to anyone still struggling to find their voice in the juvenile halls and prisons of America. Thank you, Jason.
When I was 16, in a world of hurt, I'd wait for divine intervention, a thunderbolt from heaven to save me. But it never came. Left to drown in a pool of pain, I was introduced to the game. A young little boy sprung on crack cocaine, zipping on night train, waiting for his daddy to return. But that never happened. So I'd wake up every day, determined to run away. From there, from here, from fear, I'd escape for days into a hellish haze, struggling to get this ape off my back. I picked up a strap and let off on the world, hoping they would feel my pain, pass like the flu, from the hole in my heart to yours, a violent virus with no name. Until I came back to my senses, to myself, to get help, in search of a cure for that cancer I carried for too long, a freedom song rising from my wounds, inspiring me to start healing, feeling my way home, one hard, sweet tear at a time. So this is for all my brothers who aged in hood years, who learned to run before we could walk, to scream before we could talk, inheriting our father's pain without complaint, who died a little every day just to get away, who refused to shed tears, who still live in fear that the light might be too bright to handle. This is for my brothers who aged in hood years, who rage against each other, blind to their own beauty, who can't see past the block, a Glock, or a clock, taking hard time away behind gray walls and payphone calls home. This is for my brothers who aged in hood years, still here, hearts beating their way to salvation in this divided nation, turning inside out, struggling to remember what it's all about. My brothers who faced death and chose life at the end of a gun or a knife, who stand shoulder to shoulder in the face of the morning sun that blesses everyone, regardless of race or religion. This God-given grace I've learned to embrace with open arms, an open page, an open heart, where a new world starts to form, reborn between ribs and lines that rhyme with reasons, beyond these streets we once called home. Thank you.